All right, so one other thing that people don't think about until they're forced to is what happens when your kids are stuck at a center for days with you. Maybe it's a FEMA camp, maybe it's some kind of shelter in place scenario, and there's no power. How many kids these days lose their mind after just an hour without an electronic device? So you need to think about what is going to happen when your kids are nagging you, and you need as much of your focus that's still available after several nights of compromised sleep, suboptimal meals, the stress of all these uncertainties weighing down upon you. Now your kid is nagging because they're bored and they're scared. And when your mind is racing and you don't have something for it to focus on, it just starts to fill in things for it to focus on. You don't want your kids draining whatever resources you have left in terms of mental resources. So you need to give them the ability to focus on something. Give them an emergency entertainment kit. Now that sounds silly, right? But it's something that can be used when the iPad, the phone is either lost, destroyed, out of power, not with you, something to keep them distracted productively so you can be productive and focus on what matters most. And what you'll also find, like many of these things, it's not just for an emergency, it's you bring it with you in a car, when you go on a plane, when you can't just have an electronic device or the battery doesn't last that long. It allows them to have some interesting books, some coloring books depending on their age, some flashcards that pertain to emergency preparedness that are also, poker cards if they're old enough. But the point is, get two benefits in one. Don't just have books on Harry Potter, have books on edible plants, on how to tie a knot, things that kids actually get really, really interested in if they're presented with it. Once they get over their initial skepticism and once they realize that they have nothing more interesting to spend their endless time on, they will soak it up. So these are going to be things that you're going to find multiple uses for, not just to stay in your closet for 5 or 10 years until a disaster warrants it.